Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all the various requests you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here, and let's get ourselves started, setting ourselves up with our default settings here. And let me know, chat, if there is anyone who would like to get us started today. Of course, last week, we had our first RITE Night for several weeks, because I had unfortunately lost my voice for a while. And so we were ramping things back up, and we had a relatively short RITE Night last week, just a little over an hour, I think. And so still in the process of ramping back up here, I'm thinking our threshold is probably in and around 3 hours or so somewhere. That's, of course, just an estimate, so we'll play it by ear a little bit and see how I'm feeling, but I think, generally speaking, that's roughly the length that we tend to have for our RITE Night streams anyway, so that probably won't be all that big of a factor, but basically means, at least for me, what would be about 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, that being 3 hours from now. That's roughly where I think we'll be keeping an eye out for, and probably looking to wrap things up in and around there, barring any unforeseen developments. And Honor says she's good to go in about 5 minutes. I might I have jumped the gun? Perhaps people were not quite ready yet. Well, Honor is potentially going to be one of our first people here today. But is there anyone else who'd like to go up against her? She says she's not quite ready to go just yet. Other than that, we should be in for our usual RITE Night. All requests are turned on, of course. Failer says he's good to jump in. Okay, why don't I get him then? Let's see. Oh, and it's going to be the inevitable. He's not immediately. Oh, no, okay, he is on Steam. I was going to say, he's not going to show up immediately on Steam. Then I'm going to say, okay, well, we'll wait a little bit for him to pop up. And then, while I'm waiting for him to do so, rather than seeing his name pop up, we're going to get that little pop-up in the bottom right corner saying, Failer would like to watch your broadcast. Not this time, though. We beat him to the punch. Alright, and let's set him up while we're at it. Oh, and I'll jump into that Discord group as well. Do that momentarily. Let's see. Taylor, turn him on, and let me jump in. There we go. How's it going, Taylor? How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing all right. I assume we're looking at Fate today for you? Awesome. All right. So Failer is good to go. Think we are expecting to have Honor as our second person. She said she's going to need a couple of minutes here. But hope to get her in soon, and that'll be our first showdown of the night. Of course, if there is anything that you guys would like to see for this first match between Failer and Honor, at least that's what we expect this first match to be, then let us know. You have a little bit of time to scheme something up here. Usually, perhaps we would consider giving them a little bit of a chance to warm up before we do anything too outlandish, but maybe this is one of those exceptions. Maybe we do come up with something particularly devious here. If we are anticipating that player 2 will be Honor, perhaps we set things up for her, assuming she'll be going Nightwings there, which is not always the case, but is usually the direction she chooses to go in. Honor is good to go. All right, perfect timing. In that case, Honor, I have set you up preemptively with the the Nightwings. So hopefully that is what you had in mind. If not, let me know. We can switch it around. Invite should be sent. Did that one go through? In theory. Oh no. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. I can resend it if that helps. It did, but Steam is acting funky. Oh no. Oh no, Steam. Not like this. Not like this, Steam. I can only guess as to what nonsense Steam is up to. Would it help if I resend it? Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Alright, resent. Hopefully this time it seems a little more normal. Now it's fine? Okay, perfect. Let me see. Make sure you have controls. You do. Let's make sure those controls make sense. Alright. I've not seen any requests from chat, and I suppose we did give people plenty of time to voice those opinions, so why don't we just hop in here for a true warm-up, and just have you two take whatever you'd like. Can't access Steam Remote Play. Oh, now you can. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Steam.
Good evening, exiles. Welcome to the nest of Triesta. Here, one of you may walk the path to glory. Let us see which one of you is more deserving. The Fate, stand ready. Nightwing, stand prepared. Now let us begin.
Alright, so this will be our first ride of the night. No requests here, but it will be Phaler against Nor, them taking their preferred teams at the Nest of Triesta, and Phaler starts with a quick-throwing Ninja Almer. And Nor goes Nutrition Stick Fulfred in the first spot. For a second there, it looked like she was considering matching Phaler's Savage with a Savage of her own. Now Phaler goes Web Lanthorn Raji. And now it is a Nor going with a Ninja Savage setup, a quick throwing Ninja Savage setup, so basically the same thing that Phaler had in his first spot. And Pamitha with Prayer Beads in the last spot for Phaler, and Nor considering switching to controller full-time? Fully switching to controller, maybe not right now, but oh man. Times, they are a-changin'. And Web Lanthorn Tiza with Super Portals in the last spot for Nor. And here we go with our first showdown of the night. And usually, those teleporting savages are a pretty safe bet to be the first ones to the orb. But actually, with a Nor's Nutrition Stick on Fulfred, beat Phaler to the punch there a little bit. Phaler does have attack here with Pamitha and pushes his way in. for 20 damage with her, and she did have prayer beads, so she is already back, but there is that quick teleportation, or at least blinking, to the orb with Volfred, rather than the teleportation with one of the savages. But Phalar has intercepted, and was on the move with his imp, although well-placed sapling from Minor shuts that down. Volfred, oh, he hasn't lined up. Goes to the other side of the pyre, though, but Phalar was not fooled. Stowaway's throw is intercepted here, but Minor blocks Pamitha, although Pamitha has already gotten it back here. Switches over into Raji, who nearly finds his way in between two defenders, does get banished, but sets up a portal right next to Minor's pyre. So if Phalar is to get that orb back and can find a way through that portal, it is almost an automatic score. So Nor needs to be careful here. She does have possession. Stowaway finds an angle for the throw, scoring for 20 and resetting that dangerous portal that Phalar had set. Nor first the orb once again here with Volfred. He goes down, but it's the Stowaway now. Her throw is intercepted by Almer. Series of banishments. Nor actually defenseless here. Looked like she had deliberately banished her own Tizo. But then that meant that there was no one to stop Almer there. This time it is Almer who wins that duel for the orb. Though everyone's banished. And Nor seemingly lets Phalar get it back with Pamitha, but then proceeds to banish her. Minor. Loses Tizo to the fire. Minor loses Tizo again, but now does have a portal she can go through and get infinite salmon in the process. To potentially set up Volfred here on the attack, and was able to shield for a while there, but not long enough to fend off the defender. Phalar. Pamitha. Flies around one defender, nearly pushed her way through there. Minor protecting the orb with a sapling, although has now moved that sapling. Has it back now with Volfred. Has a sapling right next to Phalar's pyre. Oh, but doesn't need it. Goes straight on in with that long distance nutrition stick blink straight into the pyre. Of course, that does mean no prayer beads and therefore no Volfred in this round, making Nor much more vulnerable here. One character down. Although a couple of banishments, and now for Phalar it is just Pamitha against Tizo. Pamitha tries to bulldoze her way through, but she's blocked. And now banished. Stowaway for Nor, also blocked. Tizo by himself, he's down. Opportunity perhaps for Phalar. And he throws it for 20 with Almer. Everyone back at full strength. But Phalar now with a slight point advantage here. Stowaway for Nor. Somehow finds the angle from that throw, what looked to be right between two of the defenders. It seemed to be pretty well positioned at that. Oh, but look at that. Orb happened to be right near Phalar's pyre, and Nor teleports onto it and gets a quick score there with the Stowaway. No prayer beads on her, though, so she's gone for this round, and that leaves just Tizo back defensively at the moment. He intercepts, but it's a bit of an awkward situation for him. There's not much he can do here. Just buying some time, waiting for Volfred to return. Tizo down, but does set up a portal. Volfred moves his sapling, but he's banished. Tizo does return just in time to intercept and can go through that portal. But Nor then retreats into the safety of that sapling. Back through the portal, though, and perhaps looking to move it slightly further forward. Back to Tizo, sneaks under the defender for the winning plunge.
The Nightwings prevail. They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Scary face from Tizo.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, of course, we can do what we did just then and have them both take whatever they prefer to take. Well, okay, Nor turns Customize off. So that, of course, means randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just going to get thrown straight into the action. Could still do an arena, could still do a song if either of those are of interest. Otherwise, we'll get going. Yeah, I don't know, maybe the gang is a little sleepy today.
The fate versus the night winds.
Hey, Failer, that looks like Orlek on his side, plus a worm and a cur. It is. For Nor, it is 1 worm and 2 imps. So, interesting team compositions here. For Failer, that is potentially close to what you would tend to take with Orlek. That is a very dangerous portal for Nor. Goes through it, and has an unblockable throw, and it does land for 12. Oh, but look at how much Pyre life Failer has. Some of that must be coming from Orlek, but probably does have the extra starting life talisman, must have on one of his characters as well. Failer does have at least the first of the right side masteries on his cur. Not all the way down on the right side, though, because he doesn't have built-in prayer beads, but he did have that extra 5 damage. We saw that Orlek has the full 30-second respawn time, but the big question is, can Failer bring Orlek back from banishment with his worm? If so, then that's a great way to make up for Orlek's greatest weakness. But of course, Orlek is quite mobile for a demon, and that does make him more than able to score there for 25. But no prayer beads on him, so he's gone for this round. Explosive Temper, so it's a little bit more down the right side on Failer's curse. We know then that he does not have the triple jump. Heroic Stand. Okay, I'm learning a little bit more about Failer's Exiles, but now an uncontested 15 damage throw for Anor's Imp. But as we were saying before, tons, I mean tons of starting Pyre life for Failer. Failer's Worm Throw is, oh, not only 15 damage, but also 8 leech. Double imp attack here. And now the worm for Nor. Oh, and almost had enough time to get the throw off here, but actually had Seize Chance active now, so that's 25 damage on the worm plunge. So in some ways a little bit better, but it does now mean that Lady River is not here anymore in this round. So numbers advantage to Failer. Orlek blocked and banished. Nor defenseless until Messenger Imp returns, and he does that just in time. Everyone down here, but Failer gets someone back first, and that is his 15 damage plus 8 leech worm. And it could be more than that if he is able to score while Seize Chance is active. And he nearly did there, tried to sneak under the defender. Nor through her portal. Loses Lady River. Waiting for Failer to commit, then goes through. Nor baiting him out once again, but Failer does still have one of his defenders back. Now Nor with 2 characters up near the Pyre. And time now for uncontested 15 damage throw. Failer first the orb with his worm. The throw is short. Snore has it back here. Orlek and one of the imps just chilling up there. Oh, and look at that. Anor has some leech as well. I think that might be her first time scoring with that imp. So 15 damage plus 10 Pyre life back for her. But now no Tizo. Oh, and no portal for her to escape through here. So in a little bit of trouble, trying to just bide as much time as possible till she gets another teammate back, and now she has. Orlek blocks, and now banished. That activates C's chance on her worm. It goes zooming forward here. Two-pronged attack. Tries for the jump, but gets blocked. Now, Phaler's Cur, yes, we determined has only 2 jumps. Oh, and the stunning claim might slow him down, but he is still able to make it in here for 20 damage on the plunge. Worm versus worm. It's Phaler who wins the race, though. Blocked and banished now. Honora's turn with her worm. Back to Messenger Imp and Tizo. We've learned Tizo has Leech. And so in some ways, that is Honora's preferred score. Oh, and she loses an Imp and then immediately goes through the portal and loses the character that went through the portal as well. Or like just enough range on that jump to make it in there, as Honora was about to get someone back defensively. Phaler blocked and banished. Honora on the counterattack. The stunning claim from Phaler this time, and that does allow him to get a defender back. And stop what looked to be a fairly dangerous attack there that Honora was setting up. Honora again waiting to go through that portal. And now does have a numbers advantage. But Phaler has it here. And his throw is so... I thought that was wide. 14. So not quite his maximum, but he does still bring him within range here. 1 score could be all he needs. Oh, but Honora's still able to nab that one. Of course, there's always a chance that somebody has some unexpected 20 rekindling from a RITE Night. We have seen a fair number of talismans that would seem pretty unlikely, but I don't know if we've established what everyone's talisman is, so it could still be possible. And Honora, the only one able to move here, the stunning claim active, but it seemed as though it took her a second to realize, oh wait, maybe this is a scoring opportunity, not so much a defensive opportunity here. But does manage to score for 15 and get 10 leech back, which at least means a normal damage, 15 damage that is, worm score from Phaler would not be sufficient. Anything else still would be. So that might change the arithmetic a little bit here. Phaler loitering there with Orlek, and he is, of course, extremely dangerous. 1 score from him is definitely enough, but well-timed stunning claim sets up the double banishment, as Honora was the only one able to move at the time. And Honora moving in for another attack here. And I believe that was Tizo, so that means another 15 damage, another 10 leech. Oh, no, it was not. It was Messenger Imp, so still at 16 Pyre Life for Honora, and with no Messenger Imp, she's down to 1 fewer character here, and it's just waiting for Lady River to return. There she goes. Now she's by herself. She does have better mobility, but oh, Phaler with an opportunity here for the winning plunge. GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right, well played, you two, with those random teams that time.
Until the next rite.
So let us know, chat, what we want for this next one. We will turn Customize back on, unless, of course, that's something that we want to continue to see for the next one after this. What's up, Cacao? How are you? How's it going? We're in for some Phaler versus Honora matchups here. Get things started. With that in mind, is there anything else we'd like to see? Still cannot request... What? That is weird. Hold on. Let's see if there's like some band that's like activated on you or something. No. Messages 999 plus. Timeouts 4. Bans 1. Well, and I don't think any of those things would prevent you from making requests or anything like that. So, not really sure. But if any reason there is for those issues. Alright, well, let us know, chat. As I said, if there is anything we'd like to see between Phaler and Anor here, then we can make it happen. Otherwise, we'll just have them take whatever they'd like to take. Oh, there's something. Can on your phone. For whatever reason, there's a song request, right? 1. Sorry, we can't do U2 songs. Rage of Demons, okay. Alright, and now that we've established that it seems as though Cacao can legitimately make requests here, is there anything else we'd like to see for the next one, or is it just that song request and nothing else? Perhaps we just get started with this then.
The fate shall take on the Night Wings. Welcome.
Alright, so no requests affecting your team composition here.
Conduct the rites.
So you may take whatever you'd like. And it's a Luminous Idol Hamatha, so that means she'll get full stamina whenever she picks up the orb. Maybe some problems viewing from PC and phone on Twitch. I don't know. Webbed Lanthorn Raji in the second spot for Phaler. We saw Birchroot initially for Anor. Slight discrepancy between the number of lit coin you have on phone versus PC? Yeah, I have no idea what the reason for that is then. Remember you wanted to try Webbed Feet. I mean, you can give it a shot. Definitely one of the less popular options for the Savages, but once upon a time, I remember there was someone who used to take it with some frequency. Oh, and then goes for the legendary talisman for the Savages, Kael'mir's Anklet, which will bounce casts off of obstacles. There are a lot of them in this arena, but that is also a very unconventional choice, as Phaler finishes with Birchroot on his side. I think that was Prayer Beads we saw him take for the talisman as well. That it was. Then Anor does go Webbed Lanthorn, but takes it on a Harp, a little bit out of the ordinary there as well. So some unconventional team selections here, but it is Anor getting things started off here with a 25 damage plunge from her Crone. And Phaler returning the favor here, though in his case it's worth 30. Anor, oh, just wide of the target there. From what would otherwise have been another very quick Crone score, but now it's Phaler doing just that. Anor got close, but then passed it back before her Crone got banished. Harp versus Harp. Phaler with a very dangerous portal right in front of Anor's Pyre. Anor now with the stowaway, but she's banished. Thrown down as well for Anor. But Anor able to stop Bertrude. On the second attempt, Phaler does get closer, but does still get banished. And Phaler, I think, was eyeing that portal, goes through it, and gets the orb, and goes for a quick plunge here, and that leaves Anor with just 20 Pyre life remaining. And Phaler had that Crone salute ready to go. So Anor can't stop the winning plunge.
The ceremony is complete.
GG. I mean, that may be the case, but really, that match right there was like 95% Crones on both sides.
It's a defensive mastery on a typically pretty offensive character is the main problem with it. If Whipped were on an imp, that would be like busted. Or if it were on, say,
Who else would it work on?
I don't know. If it were on maybe a Crone, that would be also pretty insane.
What do you think about a demon with webbed feet?
Not really sure how it would work. Demons only get 2 sprints at maximum, and Web Feet only works while you're sprinting.
Yeah, true. Works against flying characters. Yeah, against harps,
like,
it's really good.
Will use their movement instead of like discrete jumps. So harps and imps, worms too. Typically, they get affected by it the most.
Well, let us know, chat, if there's anything else you'd like to see between Phaler and Anor here. All of the tubes. Anor is dead set on making it work. Oh, let's reset our song before we forget. Anything we'd like to see the next one, or here, for that matter. Kalimir's Anklet as well. Yeah, a lot of unconventional choices there from Anor last time. Yeah, as I said, it felt like it was a match that was just 95% Crones, where most of the time it was player gets orb, player passes orb to Crone, Crone sprints and jumps straight in for a bunch of points. And then, on a few occasions, Anor either went just wide or got banished just before she made it in, and had she been able to make it in, then that could have still been a really close match. Alright, on the boat for the next one. Anything else? We have our arena set now. Haven't seen it yet today. This is true. This is true. And that is something we must remedy. So let's get started. Something for the song? Well, I can tell you what. We will have a song for this next one.
Shall confront the Night Wings. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Define a random song. Okay. Luminous Idol on Panther, so she'll get her stamina back. In case of trouble. Okay. Let's summon Tariq Bot real quick then. Oh, Tariq Bot. Now, he might need a warm-up today as well. I almost told Tariq Bot to play the song Tariq Bot. That would not have worked well. There we go. Oh yeah, you know the song Tariq Bot? Are you unfamiliar with it? Don't be silly. Of course. It's Tariq Bot's favorite song to play, obviously. Might need to bump this one up a bit. I don't know if Tariq Bot's rocking hard enough right now. I mean, I know it's going to pick up, but still. Alright, and North Luminous Idol on the stowaway. This one is a classic. This one is a classic for sure. Web Lanthorn Raji in the second spot for Phaler. His go-to thus far tonight in that spot. And in Orgo's Brazen Manor, Speedy Jody. Now, that is an ambitious pick, but of course, on the boat, there are a few that get as many benefits, as much of the increased airtime as the demons do. I think it was a Crone in the last spot for Phaler, and it was that Tizo we saw Nor take, or at least set up, in the last spot for her. Stowaway. Here is Tizo. And Tizo a little bit lonely at the moment until Jody returns. Here she is. Almost got that second bit of airtime, but does, on that attempt, make it through for 30 damage on the plunge. Stowaway retreats. Back to Tizo. Somehow Stowaway survived that, but here she is. She's blocked. And now banished. And now a little bit of time here for Phaler. If he's quick, he can get an uncontested score here for 30 with his Crone. And that ties us at 70, and Phaler does get Bertrude back because she did have prayer beads even after that plunge. Oh, and there's a little bit of extra airtime for Jody, setting up this 30 damage plunge. Honor first the orb. But no Jody now after she plunged. Phaler with Pamitha. Switches into Raji. Back to Pamitha. Pamitha switches with Raji again. Raji goes all the way through himself. Plunging for 15. Probably not Phaler's preferred score, but suppose he'll take the damage either way. It's 15. But it means no Raji in this round, and that is usually going to be Phaler's preferred defender. There is Jody knocking back the defender, setting up this 30 damage plunge. And that means one score, perhaps all that Honor needs here. Phaler's still likely needing 2. Honor blocks. Banishes one of the defenders and has it with the Stowaway. Now moves in with Tizo as well. Who will it be? It's the Stowaway! Plunging for the win. GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
All right, let's reset our arena. But otherwise, let us know if there's anything that we'd like to see or hear for this next one. We'll also give Tariq Bot a little bit of a break. And turn back on the in-game music. Anything we'd like to see or hear for this one? What do we think? Web feet good? Some may say yes, but well, a lot say no. Was that? I mean, that is the name of the emote, but did it just not register for some reason? What? Twitch is like, I mean, maybe not. This time. There you go. You just need to ask nicely. Alright, not seeing any requests though. So in that case, perhaps we ought to just jump into this next one. And you can hear the imps, so you know it's the Isle of Kalamer.
Welcome. Who shall conduct?
And Or says good for about 3 more. So heads up if there is anyone else in chat who is hanging out and thinking about popping in sometime in the near future, then might be looking for someone to take Nora's spot. Fox Voco, how are you? Been a little while. How's it going? Good to see ya. All good? Good to hear. Well, we are at the Isle of Kalamer, of course, as we were just saying, and for that reason, it is good to see that both players are leading off with an imp here, embracing the imp theme. Now, of course, will it end there? Or are they all in? That is imp number 2 for both players. And Phaler has indeed locked in 100% imps. We saw both players take the Titan Tooth, stunning whoever they fly into. And Anor goes for a speedy messenger imp, so it will in fact be triple imp versus triple imp at the Isle of Kalamer. And you just love to see it. Lots of portals, of course. Ooh, and extra damage on that imp. So 25 on that plunge, and usually the imps are best known for their defense. That is typically the role they play on a team, but when you have, of course, a team built of entirely imps, the question is, how can you build a little bit of offense there? And, well, the answer is, on this occasion, sneak past the defenders and throw it in for 25. taking one of those masteries all the way down on the left side that we tend not to see people use all that often, because of course it is purely an offensive mastery, taking that extra damage. But it's Phaler on the attack here, and that's a Titan Tooth from Anor, stunning Phaler. And that might have been another Titan Tooth there. Anor trying to follow up, going through that portal, but Phaler got someone back in time. Phaler now on the move. But banished. And no portals there from Phaler. At least not from that imp. So despite making an aggressive attack there, did not move his portal any closer, and it is currently just right next to his own Pyre, whereas Anor's, of course, is next to Phaler's Pyre, making it much more dangerous, but those portals don't matter after the score. They will get reset, and Phaler is plunging here for 25. Well, the gap was closing, but Phaler made it through between those imps just in time. But that looked like a double Titan Tooth stun. It's Anor first to the orb. Through her portal she goes, and she wins the race. Back to Phaler's Pyre, and plunging there for 25 means just one more score. Maybe all that she needs there, assuming that it's going to be with a 25 damage imp, which it does seem like she has possibly multiple of. And there it is.
The Nightwings prevail.
GG.
They overwhelm their adversaries utterly. The rite is done.
All right, well, let's head on back. A little impromptu all-imp showdown at the Isle of Kalimur. No requests, mind you. That was just of both players' volition. But is there anything that we'd like to request for this one in terms of characters, masteries, talismans, songs, arenas, Titan stars even? Oh dear. Anything else we'd like to see for this next one? If not, then of course we could just get started and have them take whatever they'd like to take. And who knows, maybe it'll turn into an all-imp showdown at Isle of Kalimur again. You never know. But let's see. Oh, Anor has an idea. What kind of idea, you ask? I don't know, we'll have to see.
Versus the Nightwings.
It is at Phaler's home arena. Okay, hold on. Anor has selected exiles.
Who shall conduct the rites?
What does she have in mind? Need to formulate it though? Okay, no worries. Take your time. So something exile related, and it sounds like perhaps it is on the more complicated end.
Choose someone.
We'll have to pick exiles which are connecting with our opponents. Association-wise, okay. You mean like triumvirate-wise, or like if your opponent takes one character, then you need to take another character that is somehow related to that? Alright, it's Pamitha first for Phaler. The whole triumvirate. Okay. Not 100% sure I understand where you're going with this, but maybe we can see based on how Phaler's starting with Pamitha, where does that mean Anor goes from here? Phaler picks an exile that he associates with Anor. Okay. Oh, so it's kind of like Phaler is playing an Anor-centric team and Anor is playing a Phaler-centric team? Okay. Okay. So Nor breaks out a Phaler Classic, and Phaler breaks out an Anor Classic, basically, it seems. So that means Nor is going with a quick-throwing Ninja Almer in the first spot. That makes sense. Phaler started with Pamitha, which is a character that Anor takes with some regularity. Perhaps not her most common character, but then goes with Jody after that. Then Anor with Titan Tooth Dalbert. And if we're talking about a team that is inspired by the ones that Anor tends to take, then it has to have a Nutrition Stick Volfred on it, of course. And I think we have seen Phaler take Raji on just about every match thus far today, so certainly makes sense to see Anor take him here as well. So it is a 100% Fate team for Anor, which is fitting, as that is oftentimes something that we see Phaler take, although we haven't seen it as much as of late. It seems like more often than not, Phaler has used either Pamitha or Bertrude in that third spot instead of Dalbert. But the Titan Tooth stunned Phaler, and that gave Anor a little bit of a window there to set up that 20 damage throw. And it's Almer again here, teleporting to the orb and taking out one of the defenders. Trying to line up that throw, and just barely snuck that one past Volfred. Phaler, that time, does win the race to the orb and goes all the way through with Pamitha for 20. Anor, first to it with Almer. Ninjas her way forward, but gets the throw intercepted, and now it's Jody on the counterattack for Phaler. But she's blocked and stunned with Titan Tooth, no less. So Anor able to follow up with the banishment with Dalbert. Tries to triple hop his way through, but he's stopped, but he is the one with the Titan Tooth. Phaler relocating that sapling, but once again it is the stun with the Titan Tooth, which is triggering quite often, and eventually Anor able to capitalize on all those stuns, that time with a little bit of a shorter or a quicker throw, just 12 rather than the usual 20. Phaler with Jody, trying to knock back the defenders, but gets banished. And quick maneuver there from Phaler, winding his way in for 20 with Pamitha. And oh, nice defensive shift there from Phaler, moving just quickly enough to stop the throw, and Anor just shy of hitting the mark there with Dalbert. Looked like at the end of her last jump, caught the edge of that sapling portal, and on the counterattack, there is Jody plunging for 30, and that drops Anor down to 30. So one more Jody score could be sufficient. Oh, and there is Volfred moving in to the opposite side of the Pyre, perhaps looking to set up a quick throw, but he's banished before he can do so. Of course, no Jody after she plunged in this round, or in the previous round, so she's not here anymore. So that means, at least at the moment, Phaler does not have a way to end this one in this round. But there's Anor throwing for 20 with Almer. That does mean Jody comes back, and now Phaler is capable of finishing this one with one score, but it does need to be with Jody. That does make her by far Phaler's most dangerous exile, but here is Anor throwing it in for a 20 once again. So Anor inching closer. Almer. Now it's Dalbert. He makes it all the way through. And that drops Phaler down to 23. I believe Anor's maximum damage is still 20, so she cannot finish this with one score, but that was the Titan Tooth from Phaler, stunning Anor temporarily and almost setting up the winning score there. Almer does somehow find a way through with that throw, and it does drop Phaler down to 3, which means any exile for Anor has enough damage. And even a quick throw would likely do the trick. So a sudden death match at this point. though for Phalar it would need to be with Jody. Anyone else would not have sufficient damage, but here is Jody with the orb. She's blocked and knocks back the defenders. Opportunity here for Phalar. Blocked again, but knocks back the defenders again. Anor needs to be careful. Oh, but well timed. Does eventually shut off that Jody attack, and here's a counterattack for Anor. Dalbert, he's blocked and he has a Tine Tooth. Oh, but he falls into the sapling and gets stunned. However, the teleportation does mean she can get the throw in here with Ulmer, but Phalar has that 10 rekindling, so he does hold on to the second life bar. So one more score now is what Anor needs, and at this point, it's truly a sudden death match. And Dalbert picks up the orb right next to the Pyre and plunges for the win.
And such a well-conducted victory it was.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Well played indeed. So that was a team that we tend to see Anor take, but this time it was Phalar using it, and a team that we tend to see Phalar using, but this time it was Anor sporting that team.
Until the next rite.
So a little Uno reverse card there. And I think Anor was saying she was looking to swap out soon. So if there is anyone in chat who is interested in hopping in, then let us know. She says she can do one more here. Okay. But is there anyone who would be ready after this match to take Anor's spot? If so, then prepare yourself accordingly, as Anor will be looking to switch out soon. And Phalar, just to check in on you, how are you doing? Are you good to stick around, or are you looking to swap out as well? Phalar's good for a few more? Okay. Alright, I've not seen anyone in chat who is... anyone else in chat who's expressed interested in hopping in here. So we'll have to see what that means in terms of who's coming up next. But in the meantime, of course, we do still have this, what seems to be last match between Phalar and Anor. So let us know if there is anything we'd like to see. Anor requests a song and says Phalar picks. He goes Glorious Tradition. So our song is set. But will that be all? That looks like that'll be it. So again, this will be our last matchup, it seems, between Phalar and Anor. This time, their team composition is up to them. All we have is a song request.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites? The deluge.
So Phalar goes Exploding Deluge in the first spot.
Volfred.
And Anor goes Nutrition Stick on Volfred. Then for Phalar, it's Web Lanthorn on Raji. Anor takes Quick Throwing Celestial Spike Jody. Then full rekindling on a Titan Tooth Volfred in the last spot from Phalar. Not something we tend to see him take. Obviously, he took it last time, but that was, I think, in large part because he was taking a team that was inspired by what Anor tends to select. But there is Anor going with a little bit of rekindling on Tizo. So I don't think she took any rekindling from Volfred's masteries. Honor stuck a little bit next to her Pyre, trying to find a way out. Volfred, and blinks straight in with that nutrition stick. Good for 25. Baylor explodes, taking out 2 of Honor's characters, but that does activate Numbing Gust, preventing Baylor from sprinting, jumping, throwing, or using any other special abilities. He does have a Worm, which is one of the fastest exiles, even when Numbing Gust is active, but even that is not enough to make up the difference there, as Nor has plenty of time to get some defenders back, although now they have all been banished once again, and so, once again, Baylor finds himself slowly plodding toward Honor's Pyre. Jody, sets up a Brazen Manor, but does not have enough time to pull it off safely. So once again, we find ourselves in this situation. Orb is next to Honor's Pyre, but Honor is able to get it before Phaler can. Honor goes through, gets infinite stamina on Jody, trying to set up that quick Celestial Spike throw, but that misses the mark. And so now it's Phaler once again. Raji against Tizo. But Phaler's blocked. And now banished. It does set up a relatively dangerous portal, though, for Phaler. She uses to help stun Jody. And now banish her. Phaler locks down the orb with that sapling. And Nor, I think, deliberately banishes Tizo, and in doing so slows down Phaler by activating that Numbing Gust. It gives a little more time for Jody to recover. She is back now. And now by herself. And I think Honor was eyeing that portal as a way to give Jody infinite stamina. But it is not the safest way through. She does still opt to do it, though. It is capable of banishing even through a sap shield, and so Honor banishes the only defender in her way, and then goes through with Jody. Although now Jody is out for this round after the plunge, as she did not have prayer beads. Tizo versus Deluge here. So Nor waiting for Volfred to return, it seems, and here he is. And was looking to blink right next to the Pyre, but he does go down. And now Nor once again might have deliberately gotten rid of Tizo to slow Phaler down by activating the Numbing Gust. Now that she has Volfred back, she can go on the attack once more. But loses Volfred. But now getting a little more aggressive here with Tizo. Where once it seemed like she was just waiting until Volfred would return. Here he is, but he goes through that portal and blinks the other side of the Pyre and gets in a quick 6 damage throw here. Not a lot of damage, but it does bring Jody back, who was damaged in the previous round, so perhaps that's all that Honor was looking for there. And once again, Honor, I think deliberately, just implodes with Tizo, banishing the last of her exiles to activate that Numbing Gust. Seen her do it a lot in this match. So it does very much seem to be a key component of her defensive strategy. Infinite stamina, Jody. Very quick, but gets banished. Tizo and now Volfred back defensively. Volfred, using those exploding saplings very aggressively. And we're back at full strength, though. Gets Brazen Manor on Jody, goes through the portal for infinite stamina, but is banished. Big implosion there from Deluge. Honor gets Volfred back. He's the first one on the orb. Gets banished, but gives it up to Jody. Sets up the Brazen Manor, gets the infinite stamina. And now she rushes forward, but she's stopped. Volfred. Tizo moving forward a little bit more. But that might have just been a way to set up a more dangerous portal. Because now Jody sets up her Brazen Manor, but doesn't have enough time. Phaler saw it coming and banished her before she could get it off. Volfred, banished. Jody back, though. Goes through the portal, but it immediately answered. Huge implosion there from Honor's Tizo, though, going through the portal next to all of Phaler's defenders, but it didn't bring back Deluge, but he's now banished. Anor at full strength goes to the Brazen Manor. Jody just barely avoids banishment there. Does go through the portal. So infinite stamina and Brazen Manor, that does very much seem to be Anor's offensive strategy. But perhaps just getting a little too predictable here, as it does take a little bit of time to set it up. And in that time, perhaps Phaler is able to prepare himself defensively. Anor with Tizo again. Now Volfred. And Volfred this time settles for a 10 damage throw. Anor sets up the portal for Jody, who just barely avoids banishment there. Through the portal she goes, gets the infinite stamina, and banishes one defender. And gets the throw in, though, to quickly follow up with the rebound. And there is the full rekindling for Phaler. It's 50 life on the second life bar. So still a ways to go for Anor. But that does seem to be the general idea. The strategy that Anor is trying to pursue. Here's Phaler on the counterattack. That worm throw is unblockable. And so it lands for 15. Of course, now Phaler on his second life bar, Anor still on her first. She did actually take a little bit of rekindling, 20, from her talisman on, it might have been Tizo. Jody through with infinite stamina and gets the throw off here for 30. And that drops Phaler down to 20, and because he has already gotten his rekindling, that means one more Jody or Volfred score, at least if it's full damage, would be sufficient for Anor here. Either one would do. And a couple of banishments here for Jody, and gets the throw off even after she is banished, and takes the win.
They vastly outperformed their adversaries.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Well played.
Until the stars align.
SSC, you are just in time. Because Anor was just saying she was looking to swap out right about now. And we were just looking for someone to take her spot. So thanks for stopping by, Anor. It looks like in that case we will have some Phaler versus SSC action. Alright, let's send out the invite to SSC. There you are. Invite is sent. Reset our song in the meantime. Let me set up SSC's info. That is the wrong letter. And SSC, which triumvirate would you like to be today?
Accusers, please.
Accusers for you? Okay, gotcha. Then accusers it shall be. Alright, so that means we'll have Phaler versus SSC here. Let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see between these two, request-wise. Otherwise, we can give SSC a little bit of a chance to warm up here first. And so, why don't we do just that?
The fate shall take on the accusers. Welcome.
Alright, so no requests here.
Who shall conduct the rites?
You are free to take whatever you'd like. Feather goes for a Titan Tooth, saluting Pamitha in the first spot. So he can switch places with his closest ally by using that salute. SSC with the same masteries and same character, but in his case, it is with prayer beads instead. Okay, hold on a second there. That's 2 harps for Phaler. I was gonna say, we did see an all-imp showdown at the Isle of Kalimur earlier today. An impromptu all-imp showdown. Looked perhaps for a second there like we were maybe going to see an all-harp showdown in the harp arena. No cacao. Don't let them win. Web Lanthorn T-Zone, that second spot for SSC now. And it is, in fact, triple harp for Phaler. All with the same masteries, I believe. And we see a nutritionistic Volfred in the last spot from SSC. And there is Phaler getting things started with a harp push. Good for 20. That was not with his prayer beads harp though, so that means he is now down 1 character here. And tries to make a push there with one of his harps, but she goes down. And now everyone down on Phaler's side. SSC blocked. And now banished. So Phaler has it back here. Loops around, but unable to get past Volfred. Good dodge there from SSC, and an opening here. And capitalizes on it with a 20 damage plunge. And SSC did take prayer beads on Pamitha, so she has returned, although here is Phaler returning to favor, plunging for 20. No one is playing as the Nightwings voice, but nice try, maybe next time. And the harps collide. Phaler switches, but gets blocked and now banished. Actually switches into a different harp so that she gets banished instead. A noble sacrifice. Or was it? Lots of harps going down here, but it is SSC on the orb with Tizo. Get some stamina back. Oh, but Titan Tooth stuns SSC, giving Phaler a little bit of time to work with here. Around 1 defender, but gets pushed out of the way. SSC recovering defensively with Volfred. Oh, but Phaler sneaks around the other way. And in for 20. And Phaler pushes through. However, 10 rekindling from SSC keeps him alive here. Phaler, oh, nearly had it there. Now SSC with it. With Pamitha, oh, flies over the defenders. And in for another 20. And again, that is SSC's Prayer Beads character, so that is his preferred scorer. But there is the winning plunge from Phaler.
Good game.
GG. Yeah, don't you dare speak ill of Twitch. Otherwise, apparently, Twitch will, well, who knows what at this point. But well played, you two. All right, and let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see now between Phaler and SSC for the next one. Now that we've given SSC a chance to warm up, you can throw whatever you'd like at these two, I think. But of course, barring that, we can just have them take whatever they'd like to take. That is also an option. In which case, I suppose, we'll give that a shot. Oh, and you hear the imps again. As I was saying earlier, our previous Alakalamer appearance, we saw, without any requests, both players voluntarily choosing to go all imp. But that will not be the case this time, as Phaler starts things off with a Banishing Throw Ulmer. And Anor has requested a song. Can we just make that one for the next one, Anor? Can you just remind me for that? Okay, awesome. And it is Luminous Idol on Pamitha, so she'll regain all her stamina when she picks up the orb for SSC. Then Raji in the second spot for Phaler, his go-to. Extra presence on a full rekindling Volfred for SSC. Therapy's Bertrude in the last spot for Phaler.
Sorry.
No worries. Then a speedy Ignarius to finish things off for SSC. Here is Ulmer. He has that Banishing Throw Talisman. And clears out a little bit of space with the first throw, and then the second throw lands for 20 damage. He's back at it here, but SSC is not going to allow it this time. Bertrude, she's rushed down as well. And Pamitha sacrificing her teammates there. She's blocked and banished. Bertrude. Oh, under the defender she goes. Little reverse psychology there. A wall of imps as well on the other side of the arena. And Ulmer was set to just repeatedly banish all of SSC's defenders, but here is SSC on the counterattack with Ignarius, hopping around and knocking back those defenders, setting up this 30 damage plunge right here. Phaler first to the orb, banishes one defender, but even that sap shield cannot stop the banishing throws. Oh, and Thaler getting a little bit greedy here. Rather than going for the 20 damage throw with Almer, instead opts for the 30 damage from Bertrude, and does have just enough time to pull that off. Oh, and the throw does make it through there. It's not the full 20, it's just 15. So SSC still holding on. And of course, remember, SSC did take some rekindling as well. This is currently still SSC's first life bar. Ametha, blocked. Now banished. Wolfred versus Almer. Now Almer versus Ignarius, and Ignarius wins that duel. But doesn't last long. Nor does Pamitha. But Wolfred's back defensively. But he's banished. And Thaler pushing very aggressively here. And does now trigger that rekindling. As we were saying, it is the full 50 on the second life bar for SSC. And it is very unusual that you see Harps successfully pushing their teammates into opponents. But SSC did kind of make it work there. Now both players with all their exiles banished though. SSC first one to lock down the orb with a sapling, and once again Pamitha sacrificing Wolfred to the opposition. Blood for the blood god. Liz, it's just banishment. It's not, they're not sacrificing. Look. Banishing throws once again from Almer. But that time it goes in for 20. Almer again. Oh, this time he hops in himself for the winning plunge.
Good game.
GG.
Tears of shame. The rite is complete.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the next
Thaler beat me to it. Thank you, Thaler. All right, anything else we'd like to see for the next one here between Thaler and SSC? The cow turns customize off, okay. That, of course, means randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just going to get thrown straight into the action here. We did have a song request from Anor saying SSC chooses the song for this one, so SSC, you have free reign to select whatever song you'd like here.
Can I tap two of them myself, or do I just have to name it?
What's that? You can, move around if you want to just take a look at the options.
Right.
On player 2,
I'm
not sure if you can access this on player, or you can control the cursor on player 2, so I can just sift through if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, can it be Surviving Exile?
Okay. Sure thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so our song is set. We've customized off. Only other thing we could do would be Arena, if that is of interest. Otherwise, we should be good to go here. We have one big Twitch is just out to get Cacao, apparently, today. Sorry, Cacao. I don't know what it's all about. But alright, let's hop in for a customize off match here. Is this a boat? It is a boat, I hear. Alright, Thaler has a harp, a savage, and a worm. SSC, it is a worm, a harp, and a crone, so quite similar, these setups here. Big difference is crone versus savage. Infinite stamina here for Gareth, and a super stylish plunge from him. Bertrude. Blocked. Banishes one defender, and now banishes another defender. That does bring back Gilman, though, with infinite stamina. Oh, and oh, I thought that was a plunge, but Phaler does manage to get the throw off there for 11. Gareth vanishes, but now it's SSC who returns with the worm, but not quickly enough to stop Gareth from plunging for 20 here. Whoa, wait, that might be the first we've ever seen a worm go flying. For whatever reason, you tend not to see it nearly as much as you do with the demons. But now here's SSC plunging for 30. That with Gertrude. No prayer beads on her, so she's now gone. Gareth, a whole bunch of momentum on that jump, but it's not enough to take him in. SSC, that throw should be unblockable, so it does land for, 23 extra damage on that worm throw coming from somewhere. Big jump from Gertrude, and she nearly makes it straight in there, but she is blocked and banished. Now Phaler gets infinite stamina, picking up a moon drop, but is still blocked. Has it back, and makes it through here for 20. Gareth once again with the crazy momentum there, but he is still banished. SSC blocked, gets the rebound, but is banished. Gareth for Phaler. Oh, past the defender on the jump. Over to the other side of the pyre and makes it in here for a 20 damage plunge, but no Gareth for this round, that means. But it does also mean one score may be all that Phaler needs here, of course. There's always the chance of an unexpected 20 rekindling from a RITE Light if someone does happen to have that talisman. With Customize turned off, we never really know, unless we have confirmed what everyone's talismans are, which I'm not sure we've done yet. There is the infinite stamina from the moon drop, though. Well, that was Bottled Void on somebody there. SSC able to banish Phaler's harp. Deluge versus Gilman. And it is SSC making it through here for 15. That means no Deluge now. Oh, and SSC not quite quick enough to avoid the banishment there. Here's Gareth against Tamitha, and somehow gets just enough on the jump to make it in for the winning plunge.
Their adversaries confidently thwarted. The right is done.
GG. All right, let's head on back. Yeah, you hear that, chat? Will the scribes for Gareth. You know what that means.
Until the stars align.
What? Gareth is the actual protagonist? Yes. Yes, he is. He has been all along. It's the will of the scribes. All right, but we'll reset our song and we'll turn Customize back on, unless, of course, there is something in particular that you guys would like us to do for this next one. Phaler says, all right. I will, in that case, request Will of the Scribes. So our song is set, and Phaler's choosing Exiles. Oh, okay. Gareth, exactly, Phaler. Exactly. Fall of Solium. It was meant to be. It was just meant to be, okay? Anything else? Will of the Scribes, Gareth, and Fall of Solium. Absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. All right, let's get it started. I'm excited.
The fate shall now face the accuser.
And is this our first Fall of Solium of the day? It might be, actually.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Don't remember if we had one earlier. So one Gareth. I assume he can be anywhere?
Yeah, any position is fine.
Any position? Okay, gotcha. Phaler does lead off with him, though, and goes for the range throws with him.
Sorry, so the Gareth is the only requirement?
Only requirement, yeah.
Okay.
And you can put him anywhere you want. All right, is a Speedy Barker in the first spot for SSC. Then Web Lanthorn Raji in the second spot for Phaler. Then it's a quick throwing Gareth for SSC. So both players have now met their requirements to include Gareth, and the rest is entirely up to them. I was going to say, we've seen Phaler lead off with Almer on several occasions before, which made you think maybe Gareth was just going to slot in with the role that normally he would be using Almer for, but no, does double down and still takes Almer here, so that's 2 Savages. That's very aggressive offensively for Phaler. And the chance to come back instantly from banishment on Oralek. Now, just to clarify, I know we saw Oralek, but just so we are super clear here, Will the Scribes is because of Gareth, okay? It's not because of Oralek. Will the Scribes is because of Gareth, okay? Gareth is absolutely still the protagonist here. None of this Oralek, Will the Scribes nonsense. It's Phaler here with Almer, and banishes Oralek away. But he does come back instantly with that talisman, and returns the favor, banishing Almer in return. And makes it all the way in here for 25. No prayer beads on that Oralek for SSC though, so he is out this round. Intercepts the throw, and now on the counterattack here with the Speedy Barker. But he's stopped. Phaler with Gareth took the range throw with him, so he can snipe. Counterattack with... that is a very fast Barker. But he's cornered. The Scarif back, and now Barker defensively as well for SSC. But able to shift over and make that interception. Barker sniped. Oh, as is Gareth. And that leaves SSC defenseless here. Can Phaler snipe from there? Yes, he can. Phaler first to the orb. Going for the snipes with Gareth once again. With the help of that range-throwing talisman. Oh, and well sniped on the cast, too. But Oralek does come back instantly. Here he is. Sidesteps that cast. Moving into an attacking position. And gets banished, but also banishes some defenders. He does come back this time as well, though. So that talisman does certainly seem to be paying off for SSC. Here is Oralek. Oh, somehow that throw seemingly passes right through Oralek. Oh, a little 360 throw. Good for 16. as only the most stylish man in the downside can do.
Too bad for that one.
But he's banished this time. Here's Orlek for SSC. Makes it in once again. Good for another 25. Baylor teleports back over to the orb with Almer, but he's quickly snuffed out. Speedy Barker, oh, nearly. Did not even try to jump in there, just went for the reverse psychology sprint under the defender's strat. Almer's throw can banish, and does just that, taking out one of the defenders. But it is still Barker here. Waiting to get the stamina back, and there it is. Looking to hop around the defenders, but can't quite pull that off. Does have the orb back here, and the persistence pays off for SSC. Gareth. This time it is intercepted, though. Orlek is stopped, but he comes back instantly. The Talisman once again. It's supposed to be just a 60% chance, but SSC has certainly made that trigger several times here. More often than not. And on several occasions, saving what would have otherwise been scoring plays, but Failure does still get this 20-point score here. That time it was with Gareth on a plunge, and he has the range throw talisman, not prayer bead, so he's gone for this round. But after that 18 damage throw, he'll be back at full strength. That one was with Almer. Barker. Oh, he was out of stamina there. Gareth. Long range throw, follows it up. But he is banished. Barker. Saves the stamina. Now gets it back. Makes his move. But he is stopped. Almer for Failure. Stop before he can hop out of the way of danger. Gareth. Now Barker. Gareth one side, Barker the other. Oh, and it's Barker. And that means one score could be all that SSC needs here. He is without Barker in this round, after having plunged with him. But here comes Orlek. He's stopped. And now sniped. Gareth for Failure. To the other side. Once again, somehow, the throw passes through Orlek for 18. Which means one score is all SSC needs. Failure needs just 2, though. Barker. Pass one defender. Stamina back, but not enough to avoid Raji. Orlek. Can he escape Raji? No, he can't either.
Another joins your ranks.
And Core, thanks for the sub. Hope you're enjoying the stream as Failure throws in for 20, and we have what is now a sudden death match. One score for either player would surely do the trick. So who will it be? Both players at full strength. Orlek for SSC. Blocks. And now banished. Failure. Gareth goes down. SSC, oh, lost 2 in that exchange. The throw vanishes, though, and Failure gets the rebound and follows it in for the winning plunge.
Good game.
That was really close.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Oh, and it was Almer who got the winning score? Darn. All right, well, remember, chat. Remember. Gareth is the main character, okay?
Until the next rite.
It's the will of the scribes. All right, let's reset ourselves here, but otherwise, let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see or hear for the next one. Taylor says he can swap out if there's anyone in chat who's interested in getting in here.
Is there anyone right now?
I am not sure. We just saw Core stop by. He says he can hop in. Yeah. So we could go Core versus SSC if that works for you. SSC, are you good to stick around, or you need to hop out as well?
Yeah, I'm fine to stay.
Okay. All right, in that case, why don't we go for that then? Thanks for stopping by, Failer. Good to have you as always.
Yeah, of course.
Good games as always. And now we'll get in Core. Now, is it gonna make Core play? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna wait and see. Ooh, Steam Remote Play deems Player 1 and Player 2 after this. If one of you two could just hit the bumpers on your controller and confirm which side you're moving.
Yeah, I'm player 2.
You're still Player 2? Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Right, so Core is now Player 1 going up against SSC. Let us know, chat, if there is anything you'd like to see in this first matchup between Core and SSC. Core, would you like to go Firehearts today? Is that a safe bet? Of course, this will be Core's first match of the day, so you can be as merciful or as merciless as you would like. We give him a chance to warm up first, or not?
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Alright, no worries. Chat, you know what that means. Chat, you know what that means. We have to request something really elaborate and just don't tell Core anything. And as soon as he comes back, we immediately start the next fight. Quick, someone come up with a plan. What should we do? Customize off? Customize off, okay. As soon as he says he's back, we're gonna hit the start button. Oh wait, Ron song? Yeah, we can do it. No master. He won't see that one coming. SSC 280. No, there's no request along with that. Will that suffice? I would have said Titan Stars, but okay, fine.
Well, that's not fair.
We have to draw the line somewhere, right? There. Both 200? Okay. This could be a long write with no masteries. What is he going to notice first? What do you think, chat? What's he going to notice first? Is it going to be the Pyre life? The masteries? The randomized team? Masteries? You'll see the life bar. We've also definitely done this to him before. We've done this to other people before, but I think we've done it specifically to him in the past.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, let's get started.
Is this no customize?
All right, so this is our first one between SSC and Core. And looks like Core has 2 imps and a harp, and for SSC it is a savage, a nomad, and an imp. You're controlling both. Core. Core?
Okay, you should be fine now.
Okay. Alright, I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, I'll hit resume. 3.
Well, let
Oh.
me just reset. Just unpause.
Just double check. Oh, yeah, and put in the middle and what have you. Or as close to the middle as you can realistically get it. Okay. Alright. Should I go pause it and resume from here?
Fine.
Alright. So again, I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's Gareth. The core has it back here. And flies in. Oh, with Astral Eye. So that's extra damage there. But reduced hope. And of course, no Tamitha for this round, that means. So it is now just double imp for core. SOC with Headwind. Even though he looks a whole lot like Lendl right now. But chat. But Lids. Lendl is tall. Look, Lendl's not here, so we can't tell that Headwind's shorter than Lendl. Gareth. Taraji.
Masters are better.
What?
I demand an explanation.
Oh, you have, look at that, you have Bottled Void. You have Bottled Void on one of your imps. Headwind. Imp for an imp. To each his own. Gareth versus Messenger Imp, and Gareth wins out. Of course he does. As only the most stylish man in the downside could. Or trying to line up that cast, and does. Headwind hops over it. Does get banished though, and with no Gareth, that means at least in the moment SSE is defenseless. But now has an imp in position. Oh, but the throw somehow still makes it through there for 28, because as we were saying before, reduced hope, but higher damage on Tamitha for core, coming from that talisman, the Astral Eye. Gareth. SSC trying to clear out some space for Gareth, but not enough room. Here comes Tamitha again, but she's stopped. Gareth. He's banished. Tamitha again for core. Tries to push her way through, but she is still banished. Headwind gets rid of it. Oh, big explosion opportunity for core. Banishes 2, and now there's the third of SSC's characters, and so now a bit of an opportunity here for a 15 damage throw. Tamitha versus Headwind, and Tamitha wins that duel. Tamitha's still with it here. Tries to go under the defender, but does eventually get blocked and banished. Gareth. Taraji. Ooh, gives up to the defender, only to turn around and banish them. Gareth again. Retreats. And is then banished. A well-timed cast there from Tamitha. Tamitha, oh, off the wall she goes. Gaining a little bit of momentum in the process, but she is still stopped. Well jumped there from the pogo sticking Headwind. Oh, and off the wall and around the obstacle, no less. Didn't realize Headwind had that kind of jumping distance. Series of banishments here. Just one defender left for, and now no defenders left for core. So there is a 20 damage throw from Gareth. Tamitha, not quite enough on that to get rid of Headwind. Headwind has it back now. And somehow, at least initially, avoided banishment there. Gareth, oh, tried to chase down, but was not able to stop Tamitha, but the orb remains unclaimed. Neither player going for it at the moment. perhaps we ought to remind them that yes, they do in fact need that orb, and to carry it into the opposing Pyre. But here is an opportunity for Core to do just that. Oh, except, just in time, the return there from Raji for SSE to stop what would have been a scoring throw. Hedwyn, or rather, Gareth, immediately banished. Here's Hedwyn, and Raji, building a bit of a wall down the middle. Hedwyn off the wall again. Tamitha trying to make her way through and goes for a quick throw here, just 18 this time. Charging up a throw, but immediately intercepted from SSC. Oh, big banishment there, though. And we just learned Infernal Bloom is the talisman on Messenger Imp for Core. Gareth wants nothing to do with Tamitha. And gets rid of Messenger Imp. Gareth on the attack now, but Raji is back defensively. Tamitha does just enough to avoid Hedwyn's cast and goes past the Pyre, but does find the angle for the full 28 damage on that throw. Core is doing a good job of trying to score as often as possible using his highest damage character, and especially given how he has that extra damage coming from the talisman. There's a pretty big difference between Tamitha scores and Imp scores. This time it's just 20, though, as he cut that throw a little bit short. Tamitha off the wall, but still blocked. Banishes Hedwyn. Raji down as well. That leaves just Gareth back defensively. But he gets rid of Tamitha. Imp for an imp, that means at least momentarily only Hedwyn here. But he gives it up to Tamitha. Who can't fly past him. Oh, and Titan Tooth on Hedwyn. Surprised we didn't learn of that previously, especially with all the jumping that Hedwyn's been doing. But it's always been over obstacles, and I suppose not into enemies. Gareth, is he coming back quickly enough? Not quite. Or had to cut it a little bit short, though. Just 11 on that throw, in order to squeeze it through. Tamitha lining it up, but still a little bit short on that cast. But very insistent. Gareth, still not fast enough on the return there. But once again, Core still cutting the throw a little bit short. It's 23 that time, which means Core is just barely out of range here. One full damage Tamitha score would be 1 point away from reducing all of SSC's Pyre life. Of course, could still score with other characters, yes, but they don't have as much damage potential. But now, after that quick 5 damage throw, does mean that at least a full damage Tamitha score is now sufficient. Barring an unexpected right light, but no, there it is, the winning plunge.
Most excellently done this time, I must admit.
GG.
The rite is done.
Totally normal and nothing suspicious about it. That right there.
Until the stars align.
It's definitely not like we turned Customize off, Masteries off, and gave everyone 200 Pyre life. That's definitely not what we did. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. A perfectly normal rite, by every account. Well, let us know, chat, if we would like another one of those perfectly normal, nothing out of the ordinary rites, or if there is anything special we'd like to do this time round. Honor did request exiles before. Okay, and now she's doing talismans. Sure. So what are you looking for here, Honor? Talismans are random. Exiles and talismans? Both are. Okay. But just to clarify, not masteries, and so for that reason we are not turning customize off. We're gonna go for the bot. If it is just those two, it would seem. Alright. So let's take a look then. So we can do question mark exile to get your exiles, and usually we go in order here, so that would mean for core, first one will be Headwind, next will be Bertrand, and if he gets a repeat, we'll just do it again and go for whatever he gets next. Okay, so it is Headwind, Bertrude, and Barker in order for core, and then, yeah, question mark talisman. Now, to clarify, do the talismans need to be in order as well? Like, is this going to be a Sling Bullet on Headwind and a Curfang on Bertrude, or can he mix and match however he sees fit? Sling Bullet, Curfang, and Flame Leech are the 3 talismans. It can be mixed? Okay. Okay, so those are the options for core. And then SSC, if you'd like, you can do the same thing yourself, or I can do it for you if you prefer.
Yeah, can you do it for me, thanks?
At one moment, well, McAfee, I tell you to please go away. Okay. Let's see, so let's start with the exiles. First one is Ignarius for you, SSC. Next one is Ametha. And last one is Volfred. Ignarius, Pamitha, Volfred. Then if we go talismans, we have Luminous Idol. Okay. We have Neeland Leech. And last one is the Rite Lights. Okay. So some interesting, random of course, but interesting talismans and exiles here. So you are allowed to put whichever talisman you like on whichever character you'd like, but those are your choices there. Again, for core, it is Headwind, Bertrude, Barker, with some combination of Sling Bullet, Curfang, and Flame Leech. And then for SSC, it is Ignarius, Pamitha, Volfred, with Luminous Idol, Neeland Leech, and the Rite Light. Alright. So there we have it. Our randomized exiles and our randomized talismans. So let's get started. And masteries are all up to you. You can take whatever you'd like there.
Are exile picks supposed to be in order?
Yeah, nor do the exiles need to be in that order. Oftentimes we do it that way, but if you're... No, they don't need to be in that order? Okay. Whatever order you would like for the exiles. And you can combine them with... Talismans can go in whatever exile you'd like as well. So just some order, some mixture of those things there, however you want to mix and match. So it's Curfang on the Cur in the first spot for core. And I bet SSC's eyes lit up when he saw Luminous Idol plus Pamitha was an option. Then it's the Sling Bullet, the ranged throws. Is a talisman that core uses on Headwind. It's the one that looks like a slug. Yeah, right there.
Right. Oh, my controller just gave out. Hang
Oh,
on.
like a battery
Okay.
or battery died out.
No idea. I mean, it's wired, so.
Oh, that is weird.
Hmm.
All right, so there's Neeland Leech Ignarius. So that does mean, for those of you with good memories, you can figure out what the last Talisman and Exile pairing is going to be for both players here. For Core, it is Leech on Bertrude. And I believe it was Volfred with the, was it RITE Light?
Yeah, if I can find it.
It's almost bottom left corner. One above bottom left corner. There it is. The
Right.
built-in rekindling on a character that could potentially have additional rekindling on top of that if SSC would like to go that route. And so here we go. Randomized exiles and talismans for both players. They did get to choose how they wanted to combine those exiles and talismans, and did also get to select whichever masteries they'd like. But everyone down here on SSE's side, oh no. Oh, he did jump in. He does have the extra damage while plunging, as he does have Kerfang. Perhaps only realize mid-throw charge up. Oh, hey, wait a second. I probably don't want to be doing this. That throw is unblockable from the Crones. Good for 22 this time. So still cut it a little bit short there. And Core overshot the Pyre that time. Here's Ignarius. Over to Volfred. Back to Ignarius. Ignarius has the Celestial Spike, banishes one defender with the throw, and banishes the other one with his aura, and follows up here for the 30 damage plunge. No prayer beads on anyone's exiles, so if anyone is to plunge, they will not be coming back. And there is the Kerfang Ker plunge for 28. Which means we might see 4 with enough damage here. It would have had to have been with Bertrude, though. 4 does not want to be in the line of fire of that Celestial Spike. Edwin goes down. Bertrude returns and does just enough to stop Ignarius. Here is Bertrude. She is dangerous. And that throw might have just enough on it. Except, there is the rekindling. Some coming from the talisman, I believe, a little bit coming from the first right side mastery on Volfred. That's how we got to 30 on that second life bar. Oh, and Pamitha just shy of hitting the target there. Barker also falls just short. Edwin banished. Pamitha banished as soon as she gets the orb. Oh, everyone getting banished here. Pamitha returns, though, and gets rid of Bertrude. Everyone flying around the orb, but Pamitha gets her stamina back when she picks up the orb. Oh, but Edwin, did he shoulder smash her, perhaps? Oh, and Bertrude's still hanging out over there. Got the throw off, she did. Oh, wow. Just enough time and just enough distance on that throw. And it drops SSE down to 6, and that is his second life bar there. Already got the rekindling from Volfred, so that means one more score from Core would likely be enough to finish the job here. Edwin. And it passes through Volfred, but in for the winning score.
Their pyre yet burns with vigor and resolve.
Good game.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there is anything else we'd like to do for this next one. Any thoughts for this one? Or if not, of course, we can just have them take whatever they'd like to take. That is also an option. And perhaps we will go that route.
The Pyre hearts shall confront the accusers. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So no requests to this one. You are free to take whatever you'd like. We are at the Glade. And Core leads with an exploding Gilman. Whereas SSE goes Titan Tooth on a Lucky Break Barker, does not take the extra 5 damage while plunging. Then it's an extra Pyre Life Snadra in the second spot for Core. SSE goes meta Auralek there. Quick throws and Celestial Spike. But here is... Core, took every ounce of will in my body not to call you out on what was very clearly going to be a canned Singularity. Saw it coming a mile away.
We're at the Glade. You gotta say it like that.
It's been a while, though. It has been a while. I'm not sure we saw a canned Singularity last week, or at least not a fully set up one. And since we had, you know, a week or two off, it has been a very long time since our last full-blown canned Singularity match. So much so that perhaps people forget what that means. Alright, it is Double Demon for SSE, and here we go. And the Thrash Pack is fitting, because this could be a very hectic match. There is the Stunning Flame as the Stowaway comes back from False Step and is the only exile capable of moving momentarily, giving her an uncontested opportunity to throw that in for 20. Stowaway is stopped there, but brought back to life. She was just banished. Look, we've had this discussion already, okay? Also, cue the Evanescence. Here is once again that combo, Stunning Claim, preventing SSE from moving just before that false step triggers with the stowaway, bringing her back from banishment and making her the only exile capable of moving for a few seconds there and giving her an opportunity, just like we see here, for an uncontested throw. That is the plan for Core. Jump in with the stowaway to get banished, or really get banished anyway with the stowaway, and then use that Stunning Claim. Orlek stopped there. Snadra gets rid of Barker as well. That leaves just Jody back defensively. Or with the stowaway, that looked like a false step. That it was. There's the Bottled Void kicking in.
A nearly negligible effort.
But Core had to rush the throw a little bit there, just 10 that time.
The orb is up.
Huge explosion from Gilman, though, takes out all the defenders, and with just 19 Pyre Life means the 720 throw to take the win.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out what was going on there. I've not seen that combo before.
Oh wow, really? It has been a while since Core has pulled it off, and I, for that reason, deliberately did not call him out on it and explain it in more vivid detail beforehand.
That's what should happen most times.
Yeah. That's the false step Stunning Claim. I've not really.
I mean, that
hadn't
time
really put it before now.
it was more Stunning Claim than you usually get in those types of setups, Core. I mean, I know it's usually you have that ready to go, but usually the Stunning Claim is not as much of a factor as it was that time. At least it feels like it. It feels like it was less of the Bottled Void and more of False Step and Stunning Claim.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he just didn't know, and, I mean, he picked, like, her first double demon, so, like, he was never gonna win the orb race, and he had double demon, so I get free false steps every time. It's just really bad against this.
But yeah, so basically it was False Step means if the stowaway jumps into someone and gets banished, she will come back from banishment in a few seconds. And so during that brief delay, Core can then switch to his worm, use Stunning Claim, which freezes everybody on the field, except if he does that before the stowaway comes back, and the stowaway comes back after he used Stunning Claim. The stowaway didn't experience that Stunning Claim. She didn't see it, didn't hear it, whatever the claim is. And so she's still able to move when no one else is, and so she can just run around and take the orb and throw it in or plunge or what have you uncontested. So that's how most of those scores got set up. But other than that, obviously there's the Bottled Void of whenever the stowaway comes back from banishment, whether it be from the False Step or from Core stepping on her portrait, then she'll suck in neighboring exiles like a vacuum cleaner, and if they fall into anyone's aura, then of course they'll get banished, which usually is more the centerpiece. It just leads to complete chaos. But anyways, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. That was our first canned Singularity match in over a month, I think. Probably. Alright, but seeing no other requests, why don't we just hop into this one? And we'll have them both take whatever they want to take.
The Pyre Hearts shall take on the accusers. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites? Sandra.
This time, Core going with a power casting Snadra. And this time, SSC sticks with Orlek, but uses the Hope Egg to increase, or improve, his respawn time from 30 seconds down to just 11. Now Core with a Webbed Lanthorn Messenger Imp. Alright, and Nora, just remind me for the next match. So now it's Titan Tooth on Manly, so he will stun anyone that he can block. Core will also go Manly, but he's going for the quick throws instead. Then the Infernal Bloom Talisman and Stubborn Flame for SSC, so if Core is in the lead, he's going to deal 10 less damage. Huge implosion there, though, from Messenger Imp, taking out all of SSC's characters. And so time for Core to throw this one in for 20 with Snadra. Orlek comes flying in to nab the orb, but gets blocked here. Core trying to do a big banishment again, but instead it's Orlek going straight in for 25. Snadra, somehow snipes with that power cast, taking out the only defenders and setting up not only a 20 damage throw, but 10 leech as well. Both saplings set up. Core looking to explode his and does so on Orlek, as we were saying before, with the talisman selection. SSC's Orlek comes back much more quickly from banishment and will need that here. but not quite fast enough to stop that throw from Manly, given how Core took the quick throwing talisman. Another huge implosion from Messenger Imp, and sets up a portal as well, which Core went through with Snadra, but instead is looking for a little more damage by using Manly instead. That's 25 damage, although Snadra does have Leech, whereas Manly does not. But you saw it was still just 15 even after a fully charged throw, because as we were saying before, we saw SSE take the Stubborn Flame on Bertrude, meaning that if Core is in the lead, his damage will be reduced by 10. So that was active there. There's the Exploding Saplings, causing some trouble and clearing out some room for Manly for another 15 damage throw here. Orlek for SSE. Gets taken out, and the orb is hiding behind that obstacle, behind that little rock. The Core has it back now, and has another opportunity with Snadra. Ooh, cut it slightly short there. Plenty of time, but only 9 rather than the what would have been maximum of 10 damage there. We'll see if that comes back and plays a factor at some point, although Snadra able to get rid of all the defenders once again here. And this time Core is sure to score for the full 10. It does, of course, get a little bit of leech from Snadra as well, which is why you are seeing Core's Pyre Life go up a little bit whenever Snadra scores. Snadra, this time stopped by Manly. Orlek has returned. Oh, but well-placed sapling from Core to take out Orlek just before he was going to land. Manly moving in again. And the defender's just a split second too slow on the respawn there. And that drops SSC down to just 6 Pyre Life. Did he take any rekindling on Manly? Is he going to have a second life bar? Or does Core just need one more score to finish things? Manly down for Core. Snadra banished as well. Orb remains unclaimed, but there is the big implosion from Messenger Imp. SSD still has it here with Bertrude, though. She's blocked. Banishes one defender, and has the orb back here, and makes it in for 30 damage. Orlek, banished quickly. Likewise with Manly. And this is the test. Do we have a second life bar? We do. And it's the full 50. So SSC still holding on here, and has it back with Orlek. Oh, and nearly made it in there with him, but a last-second block. Has it back, and makes it through for 25 on this plunge. However, that means that SSC is just barely in the lead here, which is perhaps bad news for him, because that does mean that Stubborn Flame is no longer active. So Core is dealing full damage once again, 20 and 10 leech from Snadra. Now Stubborn Flame will once again be active, though. So in some ways, when you have that Stubborn Flame, there's some incentive to want to stay just behind your opponents and go for a last-second comeback, just so that you keep that damage lower. But here is SSE. Oh, and quickly shut down by the Exploding Sapling. Bertrude. Oh, another Exploding Sapling takes her out. Orlek. On the move, but blocked. Takes out Raji. Oh, and the throw is intercepted. Here comes Orlek, undefended. Lunging for 25, and dropping Core down to just 30 Pyre Life, which means we are tied, and so Stubborn Flame is not active in this case. Another good example of how if Core had dealt just one more damage and SSC were still behind, then he'd be taking 10 less damage, and he'd probably prefer that, or in most situations. Manly for SSC. Bertrude has returned. Hops over the other side, but not quickly enough to avoid the sapling exploding on her. Likewise with Manly. Opportunity here perhaps for Core. It is still the full 25, as we were just saying. Now, of course, SSE is behind, so Stubborn Flame is active once again. But even with that being the case, Core does still have enough damage here, except... Oh, look at that. The plunge from Orlek, and we are suddenly at 5 Pyre life apiece. Sudden death here, unless Core also has Rekindling. But SSE is down Orlek after he plunged, and that means right now, he is defenseless. So here comes Snadra, who throws it in for the win.
Good game.
GG.
Perhaps a stroke of fortune ought to be thanked. Thus end
I don't think
this night's
I've seen anyone
proceedings.
use the explosive sapling so quickly before.
Yeah, I mean, we found a tech that you can do it faster.
Yeah, is that something people developed pretty recently?
It's
I think
somewhat
January.
recent. Yeah.
I think Nanor found out about it in January this year.
Right. What is it you're doing differently? Is it just like taunting as soon as you place it, or?
No, so basically, just go in.
Okay.
Basically, it's you place the sapling down first. You need an existing sapling, and then so there's like pick a sap basically.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Just do all left side. That's fine. You only really need this floating sapling, but
Manly. Headwind. Headwind.
so like we used to think it was really bad, because
Yeah.
if like it like barely covers anything that the sap already doesn't, right? But basically you can cancel it so if I taunt and then like I think you can even blink cancel it. It's like as you can see I can cancel the animation if I just blink, right? So what we found is that if you place a new one, so basically I have an existing one, I taunt, and then I place a new one immediately.
Right.
Look at that.
Oh.
Okay, and the other thing is that, so you notice when I place this here, see how it lingers a little bit? See how
Yeah.
that, like sapling, so the sapling technically exists for a little bit. Like it doesn't spawn, but it exists. So what happens is, in that little time, I can actually place it in their I can place it like in your thing and so explode. It's really powerful with this stuff. It becomes like really good.
Yeah.
And it gives sap so much more offensive power.
I think I'm doing it too quickly there.
And you can also blink before it. So like I'm over here, I'm gonna kill your demon. And then you can also get like nutrition stick if you want more range for that. There's also Thorn to Knot makes like the range longer, but it's kind of hard on. It doesn't really work on the controller. It's better on the keyboard. Yeah, so that's how it works.
So there you go. Some exploding sapling strats revealed.
Yeah. Thanks for walking me through that.
Yeah, and as Core said, I mean, as we have started to learn, that's pretty potent stuff. Because what once seemed like such a slow move, with being able to do it that much more quickly, and as Core also showed, being able to place it right in the middle of where exiles are and not having to worry about the sapling getting canceled by being placed inside one of your opponent's auras. If you can still put it there and still make it explode, then it is pretty good. Best offensive class confirmed? I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, you can imagine how confusing that was for me just then. Because I've never seen it used like that before.
I'm doing all the confusing things for you, okay?
Right. I am about ready to swap out, though, if anybody else is waiting in chat.
Okay.
If not, I can keep going.
Let's see. Is there anyone else in chat who is interested in hopping in here? Anyone who would like to join us? Yeah, it is interesting to see the different use cases for what previously, I mean, think about even before, wind the clock back even further. Before Nutrition Stick, definitely people were of the mindset that saps were purely for defensive purposes. Then Nutrition Stick starts to become popular and people start to think, well, you know what, maybe in some cases, that gives me the flexibility to be either a defensive sap or, on a few occasions, I can push forward, be a little more aggressive offensively. But then add in the rapidly exploding saplings, and then you have even more options. Oh, right side for the full rekindling, yeah. Alright, not seeing anyone else who is expressing interest in jumping in here from chat. So SSC, if you are good to stick around, I guess I would say...
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, why don't we stick with this matchup here? But just looking at the clock, I know it's getting a little bit late for you, and I was saying that I'd probably go for about half an hour, for about 3 hours today. How shall we go for, a few more rites here, and then we might be thinking about Liberation right after that?
Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Oh, and Anora is turning customize off. Alright, well, that will spice things up for this one then. So randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans. Do we have anything left over? Yeah, we had Core's choice for, it was song? Yes. Core, it is up to you to select a song, courtesy of Anor. Grand ceremony? Alright. Let us begin.
The Pyre hearts shall now face the accusers.
Harp, Kerr, Savage for Core, double sap, and Kerr for SSC, and well, he does have the exploding sapling, so it is perhaps an opportunity to test out what he was just trying earlier. Here's Dalbert. And they both go crashing into each other, but it's Core picking it back up with Zaxiana. But banished by SSC. Dalbert hops over one. That looked like a triple jump there from Dalbert. So at least an almost entirely left side. Don't know if he has the lucky break or if he has the extra damage when plunging. Core throws in for 19, and you might have seen out of the corner of your eye that black heart there on, I think it was one of the saps for SSE. And what's up, Ben Barrick? How are you? How's it going? SSC, thinking about it, fakes one way, goes the other, but still gets blocked. And had Zaxiana hanging out near the Pyre, and once he got the orb back, passed it over to her and used her to push her way through. Dalbert, waiting patiently for the right moments. And that was it. And it is the 20 damage, so what would usually be considered the meta Kerr setup for him. Though no prayer beads, so he is still gone for this round. Well shielded there from SSC. Shielded off again. Zaxiana, though, does eventually find her way through here for a 20 damage plunge. Hey, nice to meet you, Late. Whoa! Well, Not often you see an explosive temper that effective.
A blow against the adversary's
But it was actually Blackheart on Dullbird, it seems. Not one of the saps for SSE. There he is coming back with the infinite stamina, but he's quickly taken out.
sign of the accused.
And that means SSE defenseless here. And that means SSE holding on with 1 Pyre life, of course, does have 2 saps. We know he has some exploding saplings, so may not have much rekindling, but there's always at least a chance of some, right? I suppose the grand ceremony was also fitting, given how SSE happened to get double saps. Of course, we had no way of knowing that was going to be the case. And there is the rekindling. It's 20. So just 10 apiece from each of the saps. The throw. Oh, sneaks through with just enough damage to finish the job.
Okay. Good game.
What glorious performance, I must say. The rite is complete.
All right, GG. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
All right, let's turn Customize back on, and we'll reset our song unless there is something else that we'd like to do with those things for this next one, in which case, let us know. It took me a second. It took me a second to make sense out of that. I saw the Snadra, but then I wasn't sure what Snadridden was supposed to be. But okay. Okay, I see what you're getting at here. I see what you're getting at here. Okay, so the song is all set. Anything else on top of that? Or will that be all? Looks like that is it. So why don't we hop back in? Fitting, I suppose. It's a Follow Solium.
The accusers. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites? Sir
And it is an Orez Scale Gilman for the extra jumping distance. In the first spot there for core. Then Prayer Beads on Tamitha. Ashen Coal for the extra Pyre life on Snadra. In the last spot there for core. Oh, sorry, it's second to last spot for core, and that was a Titan Tooth on Pamitha, so she'll stun anyone that she flies into. Then a speedy Jody is the last one that core will take. Followed by an exploding Barker for SSC. Alright, core did have the extra jumping distance, but was not able to pull that off with Gilman there. Has it back with Jody, though, and she plunges for 30. Gilman, this time, does get the throw off, and that is an unblockable throw, so that lands for 10. Gilman again. Snakes through the defenders, and the throw is still on target there. Good for the full 15 this time. Amitha. Back over to Gilman. His throw lands once again. And once again, it is the full 15. And that means with SSC down to just 30 Pyre life, 1 Jody score, if it is full damage, would be sufficient. That throw is short from Gilman. SSC takes out one of the defenders. Here comes Jody. Gets rid of Tamitha. Jody now on the attack. Trying to find her way through. And her throw lands for 15. Which now means any of Core's characters could have enough damage. Though if it's Gilman, it needs to be a full damage score. Well banished there from Pamitha. Jody takes it back, but is immediately banished. Just Gilman back defensively here. And so an opening for SSC. Gilman down. Tamitha. Pamitha out for this round. Oh, and the shoulder smash takes out her sister as well. Opening for Gilman, perhaps? No, not quick enough. Barker. Oh, but here comes Jody. Knocks back the defender, but misses the Pyre. Trying to mess with the last defender, question mark. Not entirely sure what Core is up to here, as it also seems like SSE is stuck in the corner, potentially. Or he's just infinitely stunning the defenders with Jody. Jody is being a bully, in short. Until eventually, SSC gets moved out from the corner, and Jody relents. Just ends it for good.
Good game.
Good game.
Jody really doesn't like the harps.
That is true. That is true. Jody and Tamitha, you know, they never really did get along very well.
Until the stars align.
Alright, so let's reset ourselves here, but otherwise, I'm thinking maybe we go for our penultimate right here, our last right in which we take requests from chat, and then after that, we'll go into our liberation right. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good? Alright, so in that case, if there is anything else that we would like to see or hear before the end of the night, then this is our last chance to make that happen. So let us know what that might be, but because of course, once we do go into our liberation right, we're not going to take any of those requests, just going to have both players take whatever they'd like to take. So what do we think, chat? Is there anything else that we would still like to do here? I mean, we could just have them take whatever they want for this one as well, of course, but if there is anything that you really want, this is our chance to make it happen. Use a cursed one for the other player. Hold on. Hold on! Wait, okay, so Cacao was saying earlier that Twitch was making it difficult for him to redeem stuff? Is that also happening for you, Empiric? Because it seemed Cacao was also saying that there was a time when he was unable to redeem. What is up with that? I don't know why. Cacao said that also happening to Enor? I mean, they're on. And it sounds like you can still see them, they're just not letting you redeem them. I think Cacao had said that it was working on his phone, but not his computer, or maybe the other way around. And if you want, I don't know if...
I mean, SSC just did it, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did the redeem.
Okay. Yeah, not sure what the reason for that is. I hope that... I mean, I assume obviously it's something on Twitch's side, but whatever funky thing is happening, I hope that it gets resolved and that doesn't remain an issue. Baylor has clipped the stun lock. Okay, hold on. Shall we give that a look? Oh, but here comes Jody. Knocks back the defender, but misses the Pyre. Trying to mess with the last defender? Question mark. Just relentlessly stunning Tamitha here. He is stuck in the corner, potentially. Or he's just infinitely stunning the defenders with Jody. Jody is being a bully, in short. Until eventually, SSC gets moved out from the corner, and Jody... Oh, but here comes Jody. So there you have it. The BM from Jody. New kind of BM, indeed. Indeed. Alright, and to clarify on the talisman, the choice is for the first exile before the opponent picks class. Okay. So you are picking a cursed talisman for your opponent's first exile before they even select what that exile is. You tell them what that cursed talisman is going to be. Can't just find new ways to play. Must also find ways to get some new BMs. Alright, well, let's get started then. SMH my head.
The Pyre hearts shall now face the accusers.
Alright, so now, yeah, SSC, you are choosing a cursed talisman before Core selects anything. You first choose a cursed talisman for him.
Could you just show me which they all were again? Like what they all did?
So no casting, but you keep your aura when you have the orb. That's the Black Claw. Black Heart is... You have a 50-50 chance after you get banished of either coming back with infinite stamina or as a defenseless howler. So either it's good or it's bad. And then Black Hoof is you have more stamina, but you can't pick up the orb.
Yeah. I'll pick Hoof.
Okay, Hoof it is. So whoever this is in the first spot, Core will not be able to pick up the orb with them. So Core goes full right side on a worm. Did not really see that one coming.
So which one?
Yeah, so now Core, you pick the cursed talisman before SSE locks anything else in.
Go Claw.
Claw. Okay, so that is the no casting.
Okay. Does this stop last laugh?
I think you can still do that. Pretty sure you can still do that.
I think
Oh, I'll try it.
Exactly. Bit of an experiment here. Definitely gonna be some unconventional team setups on both sides. As I was saying before, very rarely do we see an all right side worm. And then, as we were just saying, SSE experimenting a little bit. Does Last Laugh work when you can't cast? I think it does, but don't quote me on that. But we'll put it to the test here. And now, from here on out, is it whatever they'd like and no more Cursed Talismans? Was it just that one Cursed Talisman at the beginning in Barrack? I think I was under the impression it was just that one Cursed Talisman initially. Yeah, that's the only restriction? Okay, gotcha. So from here on out, it's up to you guys. And I believe that was a speedy Orlek for core there. Talk about more high-risk, unusual setups. So I mean, of course, if you do set up a team around Orlek, then it is still possible to make it work. But it does require a dedicated team. And, well, for what it's worth, a worm that can bring back one of your exiles from banishment is, of course, one of the ways to help set up Orlek. But that is a very the exploding sapling setup for Volfred, whether you call that an offensive setup or a defensive setup. I don't know what the technically correct way to classify it would be. And last one is a Prayer Beads Almer for core. So that much more straightforward that time. And similarly, Prayer Beads for SSE as well, but in his case, on a harp. Okay, so Cursed Talismans in the first slot for both players.
Last laugh.
Last Laugh does work? Okay. See, that seems like that's a decent workaround then, in that case. Oh, and series of banishments here. Momentarily SSE defenseless, although here comes Ulmer throwing it in for 20. Now, he did have Prayer Bead, so either throws or plunges. Either one would work for core there. And there's the Last Laugh again, so definitely does work. Ooh. Orlek. Well played there, but does get banished, and it is Core who seems to be getting people back first. And now SSE is still defenseless for the moment until Pamitha returns. Here she is. Boar tries hopping to the other side, but Pamitha pushes Ulmer into the corner. And that Gilman cannot pick up the orb. That is the one with the Cursed Talisman. That's half the battle with those Cursed Talismans, is just remembering who it is who has them. And then, of course, remembering which restriction it is. But there is Orlek plunging for 25. And now it's Core who's defenseless here. And so perhaps some time for Pamitha to throw this one in for 20. Lots of banishments there, and again, Gilman might be standing next to that orb, but he cannot pick it up. Core has it back here with Ulmer. Not for long. Pamitha. Stamina back. But she's blocked. Ooh, and snipe there from Ulmer. SSE gets Tizo back. Pamitha intercepts. It gets blocked. Close to the opposing Pyre. Ulmer now on the attack, and his throw just barely sneaks past the defenders there. Good for 15. And SSE, looking to banish as many as possible next to Core's Pyre there. The Core does have it back, and does get that in for 18 this time. That does mean that Orlek has enough damage here for Core, but no one else would. That was Orlek, but he goes down, and that means Core is momentarily defenseless. But as soon as I say that, gets back both Almer and Gilman. Ametha not giving up here, though. Gets rid of Gilman, and has enough room here. Oh, and SSC wasn't sure. Do I go for the quick and easy plunge? Or do I try to keep Ametha and go for the throw? But didn't have enough time for the throw. The Core has time for 13 damage there on Almer. Orlek vanishes. Except the orb remains unclaimed, so SSE comes in and takes it. Plunges for 20, and does have prayer beads on that Pamethos, so she will return here. Big implosion. Means opportunity for Pametha once again. But this time does have time to throw. So SSE not giving up without a fight here. Ametha through the portal and gets the orb back, and Heart pushes her way through. And that means this is suddenly a sudden death match. One score could do it for either player. Core gets the orb back. Orlek moving in. But goes down, and Core defenseless momentarily. Ametha past the defenders and in for the winning plunge. What a comeback.
Good game.
Yet nonetheless commendable. The ceremony is complete.
GG. All right, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
That was the first Rite of the Night I won, isn't it?
I don't know, you might have won one earlier. You at least had a few close ones.
Yeah. I can't remember, actually.
Oh, you've been in for, you probably had one or two earlier at least. But it is that time. It is that time now, chat. I believe the hour is now for our liberation rite. Our final rite of the night, Fall of Solium, sermon intro on, and we will go with the Never to Return version of Player 2, which of course in this case means we are going for the Accusers. No requests from chat this time, just going to have both players take their preferred teams to finish things off in style. So, without further ado, let us begin.
I bid you welcome, exiles. Welcome to the Fall of Solium. Each of you seeks to be free from this forsaken land. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. Pyre heart, stand ready. Accusers, stand prepared. Who shall conduct this rite?
So as we were saying, this is our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. No requests from chat here. Both players just taking their preferred teams. For wondering who we ought to try to liberate here.
Baylor's ignoring me, I think. Do you have any suggestions, Vids?
I would say that it's up to you.
Of course you would.
Who's most deserving of getting their chance to perhaps get liberated? And it's Saxiana, apparently, who has earned that honor. A character that we know little about. Whereas for SSE, it's the Accuser's team captain, a power casting Lendl. For now, with a Webbed Lanthorn Messenger Imp. Then Exploding Barker in the next spot for SSC. Last one for core is a Leeching Bertrude. And then SSC finishes with Oralek. So here we go, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Core on the left representing the Pyre Hearts, SSC on the right representing the Accusers. Best of luck to you both. And there it is. GG.
As for their adversaries,
Good game.
they did not. Thus ends the liberation rite.
Well,
I
that
could
was...
feel how sorry. I can feel how awkward that was, feeling around for the portal at the end and just not finding it.
Yeah, Vids won't accept the camera mod change, so.
Core has been bugging me for a while to implement a mod to expand the camera on Fall of Solium in particular. Or I think it applies to every arena, which...
Well, it's, arena, you can make it arena specific, but I have it on all the arenas.
Okay.
Actually,
I have been resistant despite Core's insistence, because I think that by zooming the camera out more in general, that reduces the viewer experience on any arena not named Fall of Solium. And that Fall of Solium is just kind of the odd arena out because it's bigger than the other arenas, so every once in a while there are times when people are looking around for that portal, so maybe I could be convinced otherwise, but that's at least at the moment why I have, despite Core's suggestions that we implement a change that could potentially make it easier to see portals even when you're on the far side of the arena like that, I have thus far said no to them. But alas, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Thank you everybody who participated in the rites today. Thank you everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. I am going to jump out of Discord, but I will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Core.
yeah, good games.
Adios. All right, so I think they may have already left. Nah, we'll kick them out of remote play. But I am not done with you guys just yet, chat. As I was saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Thank you everybody who participated in the rites. Thank you everybody who gave us the request today in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, which we're doing every Sunday. And the best way to get more involved in this multiplayer Pyre stuff, there we go, if you are interested in doing so, would be to join the Rite Club Discord server, which is where we are organizing all this, and you can join that group by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights. Other than that, our streaming schedule is Friday nights is, in theory, Gwent Rogue Mage, although we're kind of sort of done with that game, so that is potentially subject to change. It is a roguelike, so we might still play it a little bit more. That's a little bit TBD, but that's Fridays. Then Saturdays is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then Sundays is, of course, Rite Night. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams there, so if you have missed anything, you can catch it there on YouTube as well. Other than that, also doing some Gwent videos, the Witcher-themed card game, new events for that coming out every week, so videos for that on YouTube too, as well as some Thronebreaker, which is the Gwent campaign, and we also, this week, tried out a little bit of Marvel Snap, which is a new free-to-play card game based on the Marvel universe, so did a couple of videos of that on YouTube as well, if that sounds interesting to you. I think that's about it. I think so, in terms of new things happening on YouTube. Of course, if you haven't done so yet already, you can also hit the follow button to get a notification when I'm live. Also follow me on Twitter, @LidsVids. I post everything live as well, but actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my own Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.